Yes, students, welcome to this lecture. Now, let us see. In earlier class we have seen about general specification. Now, in this class, let us see about the detailed specification. For example, now we want to lay the specification for RCC construction. Now, we want to specify that in this manner RCC construction has to be done. So, for that, what are the specifications that has to be laid? So, specifications for RCC is the first of all, shuttering shall be done using seasoned wooden boards of thickness not less than 30 mm. Shuttering in the sense, for formwork, for laying the slab, what need to place? We need to place the shutters. For laying the slab, concrete slab, what we need to say? We need to lay the formwork. Okay. So, these are nothing but our formworks. These are nothing but shutters. This shuttering has to be done using seasoned wooden boards of thickness not less than, the thickness of these wooden planks or wooden boards which are laid for shuttering should not be less than 30 mm. So, this is one type of detailed RCC specification for RCC construction. The next one, surface contact with concrete shall be free from adhering grout, nails, splits and other defects. Whenever the concrete is laid on this shutter, okay, when the concrete is poured on this shutter, the surface of this shutter or the surface of this wooden plank should be free from already adhered grout or cement. Okay, earlier this wooden planks were used in some other construction. From that, after removing from that construction, some amount of grout or cement is struck to that wooden boards. So, that should not be adhered while placing out here. The nail should not be come out, splits, and there should be no other defects. All the joints are perfectly closed and line up. As we know that we have different panel, we will join these wooden panels. We will join, suppose this is our slab area. What we will do? We will join different wooden panels. Okay, we will lay different wooden panels for this, and on this we will do this bar bending. Okay, on this we will place the RCC bars. So, this all joints of these wooden planks should be perfectly closed. All the joint should be perfectly closed and they should be on they should be properly lined up. Okay. The shuttering and framing is sufficiently braced. What do we mean by bracings? Bracing is adding extra supports. Okay, the adding extra supports so that this supports or this formwork should not sway away. So, we add various bracings. Okay, either it can in the form of horizontal bracing or in the form of inclined bracing, either in the form of horizontal bracings or inclined bracings. For shuttering, what we do? We brace. Nowadays, timber shuttering is replaced by steel plates in the place of wooden. Okay, in the use of wooden plates, you can use steel plates also. All the props of approved sizes are supported on double wedges, and then when taken out, these wedges are eased and not knocked out. So, what happens? Whatever props, whatever the things which we are placing, okay, which we suppose there is a slab. For slab, what we are doing? We are placing the formwork. This has to be supported by some wedges at the down. Okay, this wedges has to be supported by this formworks has to be supported by some wedges, and or else by using some props, steel girders we use sometimes, steel girders. Okay, so all the props of approved sizes are supported on the double wedges, and when taken out, these wedges are eased and not knocked out. All while removing, first we need to remove this formwork and easily taken off this. Just we should not suddenly knocked out this wedges. All the framework is removed after 21 days of curing without any shocks or vibration. Sometimes what we do, we remove the formwork in 7 days, which will be dangerous, which will be dangerous. For RCC, a minimum amount of 14, from minimum amount of 14 days to 21 days, we need to place the framework. For amount of 14 days to 21 days, the framework has to be provided. Okay, all the framework is removed only after 21 days of curing without any shocks or vibration. This, what are all this? These are nothing but RCC specification. Suppose a client came to you for laying the RCC condition, so you will be writing this specification, this has to be done, this has to be done. So that owner will be handing over this specification to the contractor and making that that RCC work accordingly. Next one. All reinforcement bars conform IS specification and free from rust, grease, oil, etc. The reinforcement bar which we are placing in our RCC cement, reinforced concrete cement, should conform to IS specification. Okay, whether it should be of 12 mm, 10 mm, 16 mm, it should support the code IS specification, and those should be free from rust, grease and oil, because if rust, grease and oil are present on the RCC bar, then the contact between that RCC bar and cement, okay, contact between that RCC steel bar and that concrete will be not perfect. There will be no perfect bond formed between this RCC and steel bar if the steel bar is of rust or grease or oil is attached to it. Then next, the steel grills are perfectly as per detailed specification. So when you lay that steel, okay, there will be a proper specification, center to center spacing, 300 mm should be there, center to spacing, that will be written. So all steel grills which we are placed will be perfectly as per the detailed specification. The cover to concrete are perfectly maintained as per code. Okay, the cover of the concrete has to be maintained. There are various things. For footings, there should be a minimum of 50 mm cover. Okay, for footing there should be a minimum of 50 mm cover. For beams and columns, there should be a minimum of 30 mm cover. So this, what is the cover? Suppose this is our column. Okay, this is our column. Rods are our steel rods are placed in this location. So distance from outer edge to the center of the column or to the outer surface of the column, this is known as cover. This is known as cover. Here also, this is nothing but face of bar, this is the face of concrete. This distance is known as cover. This distance is known as cover. Bars of diameter beyond 25 mm are bent when red hot. Okay, when we have to bend the rods of the when steel bars of diameter more than 25 mm, when those have to be bent, it should be bent by making it red hot, then the steel will be flexible, then we need to bend it. The material proportion should be as per the specification of the concrete. That what material proportion? Cement, how much cement we used to use. Suppose there is a 1:1:2. Let us assume that RCC mixed design of RCC is 1:1:2. What does this 1:1:2 means? 1 is 1 part of cement, 1 part of cement should be mixed with 1 part of sand, 1 part of sand or fine aggregate and 2 parts of coarse aggregate, 2 parts of coarse aggregate. This we have to maintain this, okay, in the detailed specification. So the material proportion should be as per the specification of the concrete. Now next one, number of cement bag required for a specific cement concrete ratios. Okay, number of cement bags required for specific cement concrete ratio. As I have said that there is a, let us say that we need we will be calculating number of bags of cement required for 1:1:2 mixed concrete. So what does this 1 means? this 1 indicates 1 part of cement to be mixed with 1 part of fine aggregate or sand to be mixed with 2 part of coarse aggregate. To construct and to make one concrete mix, 1 part of cement should be added, 1 part of fine aggregate should be added, 2 parts of coarse aggregate should be added. That is the meaning of this 1:1:1 mix. Okay, 1:1:1 mix. Now let us find out how many bags of cement is required for this 1:1:2 mix. We know that dry volume of the concrete, dry volume of concrete is around to prepare 1 cubic meter of concrete. To prepare 1 cubic meter of concrete, we need around 1.57 cubic meter cube of total material. To prepare 1 meter cube of concrete, we need around 1.57 meter cube of concrete. So now we will calculate the quantity of cement required. Now we will calculate the quantity of cement required. Quantity of cement required is equal to how many part of cement we need to use? 1 part of cement, as it is given 1:1:2, 1 part of cement into total volume of aggregates that is required for 1 meter cube of concrete is 1.57 divided by how much? Total parts of concrete is how much? 1:1:2, 1 plus 1 plus 2, that is equal to 4. How we are getting this 4? As 1:1:2, if we add that total components, (1:1:2). If you add 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 2, 4. So 1 into 1.57 by 4, it is around, the quantity of cement is around 1 into 1.57 divided by 4 is 0.3925 We know that density of concrete is 1400 kg per meter cube. This is equal to 0.3925 meter cube. So density of concrete is 1400 kg per meter cube. Therefore weight of cement required for 1 cubic meter of 1:1:2 concrete is how much? 549.5 kg. We know that 1 bag of cement is of 50 kg. So if you divide this number with 50, we will get number of bags. We will get approximately 10.9, which is equivalent to 11 bags of cement we required to prepare 1:1:2 cement. Now look at over here. To prepare 1:1:2 RCC concrete mix, we need 11 bags of 50 kg cement. 11 bags of 50 kg cement. Similarly, we need to calculate the number of bags for other mixers also. Similarly, we need to calculate the number of bags for other mixers also. Let us see the detailed specification which are required for brick masonry in cement concrete. Okay, specification for brick masonry in cement concrete. So for this specification which we need to make is, the bricks shall be of first class, regular in shape, size and color. Okay, what quality of brick we need to use? The brick shall be of first class. It should be of regular in shape, whatever is the cuboid shape. Okay, whatever we get the bricks in cuboid. Okay, should be in proper, it should not be broken at the edges or broken from the middle. It should be of regular shape, size and color. Regular shape, size and color. The brick should be free from flaws, cracks and lumps of any kind. If what happens if the bricks are if the bricks contain cracks, different settlements in the brick occurs due to the loading. So if the brick is with the crack formation, what happens if the loads act, if the load act on the brick, if here at this point if the load is more, this part of brick settles more. So there is not uniform distribution of the load on the total brick. There won't be a uniform distribution of the load on a total brick if there are flaws, crack or any lumps in the bricks. Brick shall have minimum crushing strength of 10.5 Newton per mm square. Okay, the brick should be tested which has the minimum crushing strength of 10.5 Newton per mm square. The bricks shall not absorb the water more than 1/6 of weight of the brick. The bricks shall not absorb the water more than 1/6 of the weight of the brick. So what happens is, let us measure the weight of the brick as W1 in the air. Okay, when we soak this brick in the water for some times and then weight it, it should be it is W2. Okay, this W2 should not be more than, this W2 should not exceed the 1/6 of weight of the brick. Okay, this difference in this W2 minus W1 gives the amount of the weight of moisture absorbed. Weight of moisture, this W2 minus W1 gives the weight of moisture absorbed by the brick. That should not be equal, or that should not be more than 1/6 of W1. This W2 minus W1 should not be equal to 1/6, not more than 1/6 of W1. Okay, the sand used shall be medium coarse, clean, sharp, free from clay, mica and other organic matter. What happens if the sand contains these impurities such as clay, mica and other organic matter? It reacts with the cement and form additional products which are harmful for our brick masonry or which are harmful for our structure. So the sand which we use, it should not be very fine also. What happens for many very fine sand, the contact strength between the contact strength of that mortar, the contact strength of the mortar will be very less if the sand is very fine. So the sand should be medium coarse, okay, not very fine one. Bricks before laying shall be thoroughly soaked in water. Bricks before laying shall be thoroughly soaked in water. Why? Because if we don't soak these bricks into the water, and when we do curing or when we do plastering, the amount of water which is present on the plaster, okay, that will be absorbed by the bricks, and then no water is left for the hydration of that plastering. The brick laid truly horizontal in course with frogs upward. What is the meaning of frog? If you notice a brick, okay, there is some depression present on the surface of the brick. This area is known as frog. This area is known as frog. The brick laid truly horizontal in course with frogs upward. This surface, this is the upper face of the brick. Wherever this frog is present, that is nothing but upper face of the brick. The brick is laid truly horizontal in course with the frogs upward. The brickwork shall be raised 1 meter in height at all strength all around the building. Suppose this is our column and this is our roof level. So when we start brickwork, we need to go layer wise only. First we need to complete the brickwork for 1 meter and we should leave it for some time and rest complete the another portion of 1 meter and then go for second layer of 1 meter and then complete the rooftop. In a one go, you cannot raise a brick wall with more than 1 meter or to a complete height. Are you getting my point? Once again I will explain you. Suppose this is a building. This is the roof of the building and these are our columns. Let us assume that. And now we need to construct these are our columns. This is our roof. Okay. Now we need to construct the brick wall. So in a one go, the total length of this total wall should not be constructed in a one go. In a one go. First what we need to do? First we need to lay bricks at for the length of for the height of 1 meter. Okay. We should allow this to dry up or we should leave it for 1 day and then next go for 1 meter and then complete the and then touch the roof level and then touch the roof layer. In the one go, just we cannot construct a total 10 feet or 12 feet of wall in one go. We have to complete first of 1 meter, leave it for some time, then again lay for 1 meter or lay the bed and then again lay till complete height. On the fresh mortar, within half an hour of cement mortar, the time of adding water shall be used. Whatever mortar which we are in between the cement, where the mortar is used to fill the spaces between bricks, what we use mortar. In these spaces what we use, first layer of mortar is laid, then on that bricks is laid, again in middle in between spaces of this brick mortar is laid, again at the top surface mortar is laid. Whenever you are making this mortar, we have to use this mortar within half an hour of adding water to the mortar, because initial setting time of the cement is how much? 30 minutes, half an hour. So within initial setting type of cement, whatever cement mortar you are preparing, that should be laid in between the bricks, above the bricks or below the bricks. That mortar should not be kept for very long time. During rains, no brickwork is carried out when special arrangements are made. Unless special arrangements are made. During rain, no brickwork should be carried out unless special arrangements are made. The brickwork shall be kept wet for at least 10 days. The curing of this brick wall should be done for at least 10 days. Okay. Minimum 10 days we need to cure this brick walls. So these are specification of brick masonry in cement mortar. When we talk about the specification for plain cement concrete, PCC, material specification, what are materials that we have to use in the PCC? The first is aggregate. Aggregate shall be of inert materials and should be clean, dense, hard, sound, durable, non-absorbent and capable of developing good bond with mortar. The aggregates that which are present should be inert. What do we mean by inert? This is not invert, instead of it is inert. INHERT. What do you mean by inert? Inert means not reacting with anyone, passive in state. It is not reacting with any materials. The aggregate shall be inert materials and should be clean, dense, hard, sound, durable, non-absorbent and capable of developing good bond with the mortar. Here the bond is very important. Bond with mortar is very important. Coarse aggregate shall be of hard broken stone of granite or similar stone, free from dust, dirt and other foreign materials. The stone ballast shall be of 20 mm size and smaller. In the PCC what we need to use? 20 mm size or smaller. all the coarse material should be retained in 5 mm square mesh and should be well graded such that void should not exceed 42%. Okay, the coarse material should be retained in 5 mm square mesh and should be well graded. We have to use well graded coarse aggregate over here. Fine aggregates. The fine aggregate shall be of coarse sand consisting of hard, sharp and angular grains and shall pass through a screen of 5 mm square mesh. Sand shall be standard specification, clean and free from dust, dirt and organic matter. Sea sand shall not be used. Why? Because in sea sand various minerals, salt will be there, which is harmful for our, in that chloride content will be more. That chloride content is very harmful for our concrete or cement. Cement shall be fresh Portland cement of standard ISI specification and shall have the required tensile and compressive stresses and fineness. What is the fineness of cement? Fineness should be less than 10%. Fineness should be less than 10%. About water. Water shall be clean and free from alkaline and acid matters and suitable for drinking purpose. The water which we use in the concrete should be of potable water. It should not be that alkaline or it should not be that acidic. Proportion specification. What proportions we need to use? 1:2:4 cement, sand and stone ballast by volume when specified. Okay. What is the specification? 1:2. This 1 is of cement, this 2 is of sand, this 4 is of stone ballast by volume when specified. Minimum compressive strength of concrete of 1:2:4 proportion shall be of 140 kg per centimeter square for when tested at 7 days. When tested at 7 days, the strength should be 140 kg per centimeter square. Hand mixing. Mixing shall be done on masonry platform or sheet iron tray. Machine mixing. When we are doing machine mixing, stone ballast, sand and cement shall be put into the cement concrete to have required proportion. Slump. What is the value of slump? Workability. Okay. Regular slump test should be carried out to control the addition of water to maintain the required consistency. Slump is a measure of consistency. A slump of 7.5 centimeter to 10 centimeter may be allowed for building work. What should be the slump value? The slump value should be around 7.5 centimeter to 10 centimeter will be allowed for building work. Formwork. When we talk about formwork centering and shuttering shall be provided required as per the standard specification. Before laying concrete to confine to support or to keep the concrete in position, we use formwork. The inner surface of the shuttering shall be oiled to prevent concrete sticking to it, so that when we remove that formwork, we will get a smooth surface on which the plastering, there is no extra need of leveling while plastering it. That is the reason for that. Laying technique. Concrete shall be laid gently, not thrown, in layers not exceeding 15 centimeter and compacted by pinning with rods and tamping with wooden tampers or with mechanical vibrations. Curing methods. After about 2 hours of laying of concrete, when the concrete has begun to harden, it shall kept damped by covering with wet gunny bags or wet sand for 24 hours. As we know that initial setting time of cement is 30 minutes and final setting time of cement is or concrete is 6 to 10 hours. So after that, what we need to do? We need to do curing for about 2 hours of laying of concrete in the hot areas. When we are into cold areas, we can cure it after 6 to 7 hours. Or even after the 10 hours. When the concrete has begun to harden, it shall keep the damp by covering with gunny bags or wet sands for 24 hours. So this was all about general specification and detailed specification. Hope you people have understood this concept. Thank you.